It has been a good 2 weeks for Hawaii receiver Devin Stubblefield.
Yeah, really nice back shoulder fake, catching it the high point, extending his hand. Now you see a little set on his release and then creating separation like a veteran. Really nice job. Great throw, great catch. Great celebration dance?
Yeah, the LeBron James look from the NBA. Stubblefield, as we mentioned, now got 6 career touchdown catches. But the one last week against Fresno State was pretty powerful for himself. Hadn't scored since 2015, battling all those injuries. Good for him.
You think he, now in retrospect, made the right decision? Because he could have played baseball.
Yeah.
He was an outstanding all-state baseball player. Playing football, the injuries.
Well, I think with his foot speed, coming out of St. Louis, he was tailor-made for an offense like this. Thing is, in his very first practice in Manoa, non-contact drill, pops a knee, and that just set him back. Then he fights his way back and pops the other knee. And it was like unbelievable run of bad luck for Devin Stubblefield. Good kid.
Yeah, hard luck. But and also, as I mentioned, all-state first team in baseball.
Yeah.
St. Louis Crusader. George Gussman was not coaching then, correct?
No. On 2nd and 9, Gerald Bright put down by Big Thompson.
Yeah, first of all, Lesman Ta'ala, the freshman, does a nice job penetrating and turning that play back inside. And then the inside linebacker doesn't overrun it. That's Kanai Makanso.
So what's ahead for the University of Hawaii? They get a much-needed bye week.
Much needed after 11 straight weeks.
And then they recoup. They got 2 more shots at getting elusive win number 7 to become bowl eligible. It's UNLV here at home. They finished the season on the 24th against San Diego State.
Also over 30,000 miles traveled on their 5 road trips, and they still got to go to San Diego State.
The Henry Colombi intended pass for Savon Scarver. There's far too much talking in this game.
Especially with a score like this. You know when there's talking like that, what I used to do if somebody was talking, you don't have to talk back, just point to the scoreboard.
I mean, there's far too much talking. And it's not one-sided.
Well, and I think Utah State has won the last 4 meetings. Is that correct in this series?
Yeah, the series has not been close. Aggies won the last 4, and they're 4-4 all-time here in Hawaii. Again, last season's meeting was 38-0 in Logan. That punt goes out of bounds, short of the end zone. With 13:23 left in the game, that punt by Taylor hits. Then the officials will mark it actually near the 20-yard line.
You know, the nose tackle, Unga, has been a little quiet, but that's what nose tackles do, right? They demand the double team. You mentioned Robert, the brother of Tui Unga, who played for Hawaii last year. There are 4 Ungas that have played college football. And
Oani Unga was a graduate assistant at Utah State last season, is now a full-time coach. He's the guy who made his NFL debut like on a Monday night and just went crazy.
Loved watching him play.
For the New York Giants. And we're told Tui Unga now lives with the brothers in Logan, Utah. The Comedano way overthrows Marcus Armstrong Brown. Boys' offense never got into a rhythm.
A consistent rhythm, there's no question. And they never got the running game going in. You can talk to Nick Rolovich, Brian Smith, Craig Stutzman, Andre Allen. They'll all tell you, even the offensive line coach, Mark Weber, will tell you, you've got to be able to run the football.
43 yards rushing tonight. By an offense that coming in averaged 128.6 yards per game on the ground. McDonald, the bird in the middle of the field, just short of the 30-yard line.
That little funnel, tunnel screen, some people call it. I mean, there's so many different terms for so many some of the same plays. But right here, take a step upfield, come back and get it. You let your linemen go downfield, and hopefully your linemen can time up their blocks in space. But they've had some success, and then other times, Utah State has read that play.
Some new bodies now for the University of Hawaii as the fourth quarter gets going here. New center. Tonga Tulima replaced by Kaibi Chung. And Cole McDonald gets sacked.
Yeah, and that was a defensive end who came all the way around the backside of the formation. And again, is it the quarterback holding the ball? Is it receivers not getting open? It wasn't on the protection on that particular play.
Tipanalei is who we're talking about off the edge. Been a busy man tonight for the Aggies.
Yeah, and coming into this game, 8 tackles for losses, 5.5 sacks. I mean, this guy can play football. You're going to see him coming on the left side of your screen, wrap all the way around the back door. And you know why they run those circles in practice? That's the reason why.
Yeah, to keep the motor running. And he was blocked not bad by Joey Nu'uanu Kuhiiki. The flag in the play. This may have been the most different bodies we've seen in one game. By the Rainbow
Catch
Warriors.
interference by number 22 of the kicking team. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it's a first down.
Ika Mokeke has played well in terms of a coverage guy. Michael Gobriel, the special teams coach right next to him, is again a teacher. He's not yelling at him, he's teaching the proper technique on special teams.
56-17.
Welcome back to Aloha Stadium. 11:52 left to play in this one. 56-17, Utah State leading. And Jeremy Musa, who saw action a week ago at Fresno State and threw a touchdown, warming up on the sideline, so we could see Musa coming in for McDonald. Back up to you guys.
And that touchdown that Scott Robb just talked about was the one to Devin Stubblefield late in the game against Fresno State, 27 yards.
And you mentioned the plethora of players, and also with the new redshirt rule, a lot of these young guys will not burn a red shirt by playing in 4 games.
I love the rule. And they run right side, that's Utah State. And again, broken tackles near the line of scrimmage. And now late flag comes flying in.
Corey Bethley came in and tried to submarine the ball carrier. The ball carrier jumped over him. You got to keep your head up. You got to hit in the strike zone.
And what a great name, too. El Toro Allen. Running back. Aggies.
How do people think of these names?
It's a great name.
I'm Rich, you're Robert. Watch this right there. Oh,
Been rolling
head
over.
Down.
You know what El Toro said by that tackle attempt? Ole.
By number 19 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty and replay first down.
So holding against Utah State.
How do you do this? The Ole was so perfectly timed up with the El Toro.
El Toro's a great name.
It is. Wild Man.
Wild Man's a great name. I'd like Jordan Love a lot
Love
better
is a great name.
if we didn't have a Love already this season.
We're giving him too much love, but well-deserved.
We're really fixing the quarterback called Love.
That's right.
San Jose State.
Now, let's
Is
do
it Josh Love?
a DNA test on that one.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks.
I would have been more impressive if it was the first time we got some Love this season.
An illegal snap by number 68 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
And Love had his best game for
Yes.
San Jose State.
But they're Utah State now moving guys around. Quinn Ficklin is the starting center. But now they're going with Moroni Iniguez, who's the starting left guard.
Maroney's a great name, too.
Yeah. The left-handed snapper. We rarely see
Well, that's
left-handed
different.
snappers.
The spin will be different, but they try to take the spin off now. Watch how it's a dead ball as they bring it down. It doesn't spin.
He got some good zip, though. So El Toro brought down by Bethley, Corey Bethley.
And number 13 reminds me of Keith Bonifar, the assistant coach of the University of
UW,
Washington
yeah.
Huskies, because he wore number 13 and I coached him, and I haven't seen much of 13s.
Who's the other 13 along the year? Preston Satelli.
Ooh, there you go. How
He
did
wore
I miss
13.
that?
Because Dad wore 13.
Alvis Satelli wore
Yes.
13, my teammate, captain. Phenomenal player in the Canadian Football League. What a family that is. The Satellis, the Nogas, the Cafenses.
So 2nd and 10. El Toro, like Bull, runs to the right side.
I'm just going to let you do the color because nobody is as colorful as you.
I'm losing
Not
my mind
just your
right
Aloha
now.
shirt.
It's 9:49 left in this game. And Utah State is on its way to winning its 8th consecutive game.
And they talked about the traveling. They got on a bus, traveled 3 hours to, I think, Salt Lake City or wherever it was. And then that long plane ride.
They want some wine with it, the cheese with that wine? Stop. They're all bummed because they flew commercial.
No, he was down. I mean,
Yeah, he was clearly down.
yeah.
8 straight wins is one shy of the school record. Doing 9 in a row. Remarkable feat for the Aggies. Now clearly down.
Yeah, forearms down.
Yeah.
Hand is not.
But the whistle didn't blow. So props to Heel to fighting on. Longest active win streak in college football right now is.
Is this a quiz?
Yeah.
I'm going with Central Florida. Mackenzie Milton.
Number?
24. 21.
21 straight games.
It'll be 24 soon. Mackenzie
Utah
is one of the
State.
most amazing players to watch in college football.
Utah State be tied for 5th right now. 8 straight wins in the country.
Yeah.
Del Toro stopped in the backfield by Beckley again. So after Central Florida at 21, Alabama
calls their timeout of the half. Media timeout.
So timeout called by Hawaii. And here at Aloha Stadium, 11:52 with 8:44 remaining. It's 56-17. And you're all invited to stick around for the Heineken postgame show coming up right after the game. Our side set analyst will break down all of tonight's highlights and stats and the antics that you recognize from UH Volleyball at the Stan Sheriff Center here at Aloha Stadium tonight.
You talked about algorithms. You talked about analytics. That's who I want to hear from after this football game.
The Antis?
The Antis. Because they're going to stay to the very end.
Oh, they will.
Those are Hawaii's best fans.
Yes. Hardcore. Love it. 8:44 left in the game. Aggies lead 56-17. Henry Colombi, right side, completed pass to Devin Tompkins.
Nice job by Kai Kaneshiro of staying on the upfield shoulder, inching his way back with all those moves. Just continue to inch back.
And 56 points represents the most points given up by Hawaii this season. It was 50 last week on the road against Fresno State. .557 yards offense for the 18th ranked team in the country tonight here in Halava Valley. Del Toro right side to the 30-yard line. And this is off a game where they set a school record, putting up 704 yards against New Mexico a week ago.
Yeah, and Love only played the first series of the third quarter. He did all his damage in the first half.
Man, they scored 52 at halftime.
There's got to be a mercy rule.
Unbelievable.
But there's been a couple of times, right? They've been in the 60s, the 50s, the 40s.
No question.
Jordan Love has had multiple games with 4 touchdown passes.
Utah State's had 3 games scoring 60 or more. They've had 4 games scoring at least 50. And both those numbers represent school records. El Toro Allen, right side, gets near the 30-yard line.
And this is what happens when a team plays well. They're executing at a high level, this offense from Utah, and they're getting a lot of help from their defense, taking the ball away, their special teams, scoring on special teams, and the opponent does not play well. Hawaii is beat up defensively. They need a bye week as much as any team in college football. They played 11 straight, more than any other team in the FBS.
Yeah, that's a crazy number. 11 games in a row of NCAA college football. Aggies on 2nd and 1. El Toro Allen right side. May have got to the 15-yard line. Did he cough it up?
It's going Hawaii's way.
But Nate Pavihi has the football. Did El Toro Allen cough it up before he hit the ground?
Pavihi with the recovery. But I always want to find out who forces the fumble.
You see it clearly. Well, you can see the ball come out, but we can't see his knees. Yeah, Kendall Hume.
Yeah, Kendall Hume was, I think, involved, but Panay Pavihi definitely with the recovery.
The call is Hawaii football. And again, Musa in for Cole McDonald, Jeremy Musa, freshman, 6'3", 210 pounds, from Chino Hills, California. Eagles play action across the middle. A completed pass to Sharsh across the 30-yard line.
Sharsh, Matthew Allen from Honolulu High School.
If I'm not mistaken, Musa's from Chino Hills. Isn't Salas from Chino?
Yes, he is. So is a guy by the name of Frank Strong, who played in the 80s at wide receiver.
Here?
Here at the University of Hawaii,
Really?
wide receiver.
I wish I was old enough to remember that, Rich.
Wow, this is a tough night.
So Musa, we've seen Musa in camp. Maybe the prettiest deep ball we've seen.
You know, Stutzman had said maybe the best quarterback room in the country. When I asked him about it, he said arguably, because he loves Musa.
Yeah.
He loves Chevin Cadero. He loves, obviously, Cole McDonald. Those are three good quarterbacks. But you're right. The best arm in terms of NFL arm talent is Musa.
And especially the deep ball. When he throws it deep, we're talking 45, 50, 60 yards. Somehow, and I don't know how he does this, he gets to the turnover. Like, it drops in on receivers.
The least athleticism in terms of movement in the pocket, but the best pure arm talent.
And again, a freshman.
Gotta like that.
Like Chevin Cordero. Chevin's had 2 opportunities this season. This is the second opportunity for Musa. And Fred Holly runs to the left side.
And it seems like all day long, the inside running game, there's been no hole. So the back will bounce it outside, and the linebackers, the safeties do a nice job of making things go east and west and tackling inside out. But going back to Chevin Cadero's maybe 180, 185 pounds, he'll continue to get bigger and stronger. He's had 2 games to play in, and that means Hawaii still has potentially 2 games plus a bowl game. So they want to make sure that they conserve the 4 games, and they're doing this judiciously.
And I think Cordero, coming into camp time, had gotten up to over 200 in the weight room. Musa looking for a long ball. Now the intended receiver for Hawaii on that play was Eric Rooks, also a freshman from Chicago, 6'3", 215 pounds. It's absolute empty to bench time. And get some tape on some of the young guns, some film work.
Yeah, and I would imagine you, like most of the country football fans, like the new redshirt rule.
Oh, I love it.
The ability for these young men to play, and then they can decide to transfer with the new national transfer registry. That's going to be a hard one, is keeping all those quarterbacks in the same program.
So we now know how the redshirt rule works.
An illegal substitution by the defense. There were 12 players in formation. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still 4th down.
So it's any 4 games you can play. Your clock doesn't start ticking once you get in. You have 4 actual games you can get involved in and play. How does the national registry work?
And in October, you can put your name on that, which makes you eligible to transfer. Whereas obviously in the past, you could not do that. So that's a new NCAA legislation.
So fair catch by Utah State. 4:49 left at Aloha Stadium, and the Aggies lead 56-17. Can you feel the love tonight? You thought you'd be all alone, all romantic in the yellow section?
I bet you they wouldn't mind sitting there for the Bruno Mars concerts, but right now,
it's not bad seats.
They're falling asleep.
Have you ever watched a football game from that yellow section?
Rob DeMello used to have
see everything
tickets up there. I like end zone because I like seeing things open up.
First and 10 Aggies at their own 30-yard line. El Toro, that's not El Toro. It's Justin Hervey, a senior running back, replacing El Toro Allen, who fumbled in the last series.
That's why. Even though it's late in the game, you fumble, you are out.
Especially when you're trying to just run the clock, get out of dodge.
Yeah, and that's demanding. That's a head coach that understands it's still fundamentally, you have to do your job. And if you're going to be put into this football game and given responsibility, you have to perform. There's penalties. I'll tell you, Garrett, that's why I think this team has done so well. It's demanding head football coach Matt Jones.
The Hervey running right side, and again making a tackle is Beckley for Hawaii. So Utah State now 8 consecutive wins will tie Michigan for 5th of the current active streak. Number 1 we mentioned was UCF, Mackenzie Milton and company at 21. Alabama's won 11 in a row, Notre Dame 10 in a row, and Clemson's won 9 straight.
Okay, so 3 out of those 5 teams have a Hawaii player on the roster. Not only are on the roster, one's a Heisman Trophy winner, one is going to be probably in New York, and the other one is who?
Notre Dame.
And what's his name?
Gilman.
Alakai Gilman.
Yeah. The transfer from Navy.
Wait, I think it's Alohi Gilman.
Alohi Gilman.
Yeah, Alakai is the brother.
Transfer from Navy. Now the Mountain West Conference today, and this score will ring tomorrow when the rest of the country sees it 56-17. Army beat Air Force 17-14. Cowboys topped San Jose State 24-9. San Diego State escaped New Mexico 31-23. Boise State 21-16, they beat BYU. And Fresno State a 48-3 win against UNLV, Hawaii's next opponent after a bye week next weekend. Across the 40-yard line does Hervey go. I'm surprised at the fall of the Aztecs. They're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the fall, although they lost last week. They struggled against New Mexico, who Utah State just obliterated last week. And the guy who's saddest about that is my son, who's a freshman at San Diego State, Kupa'a Miano.
Does he go to the games?
He works in the football office.
Does he really?
Twice a week in recruiting and social media, and I guarantee you, he's putting his 2 cents in there.
Is he fish tacoing in San Diego?
He's loving the food, loving the culture.
First time.
It's as close to Hawaii as possible.
When Hawaii was in a whack with San Diego State. And then somebody said, let's go eat fish tacos. Like, that sounds disgusting. Are you kidding me? And then you start eating fish tacos like, wow.
What was that, Wahoo's or something that made fish taco popular?
Now we see one of the Hawaii connection in for Utah State is getting some run here. And that's Siotame Uluawe from Kahuku wearing jersey 56. Playing offensive line.
Surprised the brother KJ is not getting any action. I'm sure the Uluvales are here in mass numbers representing this crowd of approximately.
Well, it's listed as 17,262. And it turns down. That's all I have to say about that number. Now they go left side and cut back up the middle is Hervey. And then finally brought down again by Bethley. Bethley's making tackle after tackle.
Yeah, he really is, and he's making good tackles. The one in the hole where he kind of rolled his shoulder and ducked his head, that's the only play that he's watching. He backpedals, he comes down, he closes the gate, he comes to balance, he keeps his head up and wraps up. I mean, that kid is making a name for himself. Not everybody can be a perfect tackler. This is not a perfect game. It's not a perfect science. He's made 9 out of the 10 tackles, or however many that he was supposed to. They just need more green jerseys to the football.
And he's in on the action. You got a nose for the football. Hervey left side. Tripped up by Epironi Moananu. The bottom end looks like.
And they expected more out of Epironi Moananu this season. I mean, that's a guy who's played the offensive line, defensive line, and then
Seti, not Moananu.
Okay, good. Because he's made a couple plays earlier.
Converted offensive lineman.
Yeah. Say he made some plays earlier in this football game. Is it Ezra?
When the upside for Azia and the rest of the non-starters is to get some work on film. I mean, ultimately, you want to play, you got to impress the guys wearing the gray shirts on your sideline, the University of Hawaii coaching staff. And the best way to do that is get film.
Yeah, and show that you understand alignment, assignment. You will execute your technique and you'll finish the play.
So there's 46 seconds left. Rainbow Warriors looking to pitch their second shutout quarter of this game. They held Utah State scoreless in the second quarter.
Amazing how the numbers have worked. It's the first and third that were all the damage, correct?
28 points each in the first and third.
28, 56.
That's great math. Kaiser should be proud.
University of Hawaii graduate as well.
And again, right side run for Utah State and Hervey. So it's UNLV. Hawaii needs one more win to become bowl eligible. It's a week off, UNLV here at home, and on the road against the Aztecs of San Diego State. His program needs that 7th win. The start they had, 6-1, after 4-0, this program needs that 7th win.
And they can't play like they did this evening, especially defensively, but I think they can get that. I also think they can compete with San Diego State. This was the best team in the Mountain West Conference. Fresno State may be the second best team in the Mountain West Conference. The schedule has gotten tougher. Hawaii needs to fundamentally play better, but this is a great week off for this team.
The players of the game tonight for the University of Hawaii, the honor goes to John Ursua, receiver, 3 catches, 78 yards, including a touchdown, and Darwin Thompson, running back, Utah State, 13 carries, 141 yards, and 3 trips into the end zone. It's 8-1 for the Aggies. Hawaii falls to 6-5. How bad of a loss would this be taken in that Hawaii locker room?
You know, I'm not sure. Again, Nick Rolovich was positive, tried to be as positive as possible last week. You have to talk about confidence. You have to talk about swagger. You have to talk about fundamentals. It's a tough line, but I think watching this tape, most of the blame, a lot of it is going to go to fundamentals on defense, stopping the opponent on 3rd down, stopping them on 4th down, taking the football away. Offensively, they did some good things, just not consistently, and they need to run the football.
The power of belief is powerful if you believe. I don't think everybody believes right now. Final score, 56-17 here at Aloha Stadium. Hawaii falls to the Aggies of Utah State. Stick around for the postgame show. Ralph DeMello, Kavika Helms, R.J. Hollis, and Nate Ilawa. For my partner, Rich Mayano, and our entire Spectrum crew, I'm Robert Kikaula. Aloha from Aloha Stadium.